actually have that much focus on self-publishing. I ended up actually getting a contract at a big publisher. So I'm working on a full-on graphic novel right now of about 100 pages.
Can we get an applause for that one?
I don't actually have that much knowledge about self-publishing. I was actually very focused on trying to find just a publisher. So most of how I set up, tried to kickstart my career was actually through trying to pitch my ideas to publishers, not through going to events or self-publishing.
You've come to the next step, but for the people who have not done it before, can you explain to them like how the progress was for you to get into like pitching your stuff to a publisher?
Yeah, so it mostly started with a bunch of small projects and trying a lot of different stuff and just trying to feel what worked for me as an artist and something I could really focus on. And what I did was actually make something that I felt was working really well. I made a full script. So I had about 60 pages of script, so I knew where the story was going, I knew how it was going to end, and I could just make an A4 with the complete story on it. And then I finished about 5 pages to show what the art was going to look like, and then I went to a publisher. So you don't actually have to finish your work completely, you just have to show them what it's going to look like and that you know what you're doing. And if you have a time planning, that's even better, because then they know you are someone who's in control of the project.
Got anything to add to this one?
Like I said, I started out with doujinshi circles, and right now I do a lot of self-publishing as well. I have a book out with Hanabi, which came out last year, which was an interesting process on its own, because as you say, usually you go pitch your stories to publishers. But for me, the last stop, the laatste halte, is my graduation project. So it actually was all done, and it got picked up by a publisher. I do need to say that rarely ever happens, and Hanabi is like an offshoot of Syndicat, which are both publishers that really focus on those young talents and really want to get those people out there and want to get those people published, which is an interesting contrast, because then you get a good view of, okay, what is it gonna be like to be published versus what is it like to have your own booklets. Really the biggest difference is like scale. Like Hanabi does print runs of 1,000 booklets, and that's something I could never do on my own without like something like a Kickstarter or something like that. And they will also distribute, so they will take it to shops and they will get it out there, and they will do some of the promotion as well, which is really nice. And I can actually recommend both Syndicat and Hanabi. Like if you're nervous about getting your first book out there, like at least go talk to them and maybe see if they have any extra ideas on your work. I wouldn't say maybe settle for them, because like I said, they are a fairly small startup publisher, but they are interested in starting artists as well, so it's definitely not a bad place to start either. They're very nice people, they're very accommodating, and they can really help you get to that next step if you want to.
A place that I can recommend is going to Brussels Strip Pitch, where all the like Dutch, French and Belgian publishers come, or at least some of them, the bigger ones as well. Make sure to read how they want the project presented and really just try and fill it out. Because what I noticed when I went to the pitching day, a lot of people just came in with like wild, like big maps of ideas and just like loose, you know, and then the publisher doesn't know what you're about, you know. So make sure that you can very quickly make clear what you're about, what you're going to make, and really get an idea of what you're trying to get them to publish.
And and look into what publishers are coming and which ones you want to talk to, because I think you need to subscribe to like 1, 2 or 3 of them, and after that you can sort of rearrange and see where you can squeeze in, but you'll at least have a few people you can definitely talk to. So make sure that your pitch also is something that those publishers would be interested in.
Spider.
Het debutantenfonds voor stripmakers is onlangs gestart. Ja, je kunt daar een script wat je wilt gaan maken, een soort resume naartoe sturen. Dan gaan zij kijken van, kunnen we er wat mee? Als zij denken dat het kan, dan gaan ze je helpen om het boek, de publicatie, uitgegeven klaar te maken. En als het goed is, hebben ze dan ook al een uitgever.
Super dope.
Dus dat is een heel nieuw ding en je kunt het terugvinden onder debutantenfonds. Iets.
If you want to look for a publisher because of big bucks or whatever, sorry guys. It's just that starts happening once you get multiple things out. So just keep going.
Royalty.
Royalties.
Yeah, you're gonna make.
Royalties?
Yeah, so it's like you get royalties every year based on if your comic has been like in the library, if you're buying it also. So like it comes in the year. So you hear from a lot of senior comic artists that have a lot of books out today. Per year, maybe get a few €1,000 out of it. But when you're starting out, you're gonna be broke.
What I wanted to say is like, especially for the artists and people who are like working to get published in the future, pen and paper, where is it? Where's your phone? Write down the notes, because I'm sure that there's been a lot of info and a lot of stuff just slips through your mind. You hear it, you get hyped, and when you get home, you're like, oh fuck, what was it? It's super valuable info from people who are already published, and to like certain tips that you get to get yourself started and get yourself on the road. So pen and paper or a phone, and definitely look back at this video and write the most important stuff down for yourself.
Piles of comics, even the ones that are completely unappealing to you. Like, even if you only pick up like 4 of those every year, there are four of those comics that you completely find unappealing. You might still think that at the end of it, but you'll still have learned something from them. If only the thing you learned is like, what do you not want? But that's very important as well.
I can advise try to make a lot of short stories where you just like aim for like 2-3 pages just to really get a flow, because like the first few often are actually pretty trash. So it's probably better not to start with like a gazillion pages or like trying to like don't start your light work immediately.
Yeah.
Just do a few sorts of get the feel of it. And what helped me a lot was just reading a lot of theory, just about just like making comics from Scott McCloud. Most people know it probably. Just reading a lot about how comics work, and just once you see the certain rule sets that happen within comics, you suddenly start to digest when you're reading something that you might have been. And once you have those tools to really understand what you're doing, you can really reflect on the work you're making. So I think theory and just making a lot of short stuff really helps to move forward.
Also get feedback. Please get your comics proofread, even if it's just by that one English major that's in your friend group. Everybody has one somewhere. Somebody who's really good at language, who can at least pick out all the language mistakes, and then somebody who maybe knows comics as well, so they can call you out on inconsistencies, things that maybe don't work as well, things like that. And don't take it personally. It will make your work better, and it will improve you. It doesn't say anything about you, it says something about your work.